You ever wonder why you automatically grab your phone the second you hear a notification? Or why some habits just feel totally impossible to break? Well, the answer is this really powerful psychological principle that's quietly shaping your behavior every single day. It's called operant conditioning. So let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works. It all really starts with this one simple but honestly profound question that gets right to the heart of why we do the things we do.
Right. Why do behaviors repeat? Why do you find yourself making coffee the exact same way every morning? Or driving the same route to work, pretty much on autopilot? There's this invisible engine driving all of that. And today, we're gonna look under the hood.
Now, to really understand this engine, we have to go back to where it was first studied in detail. So let's step inside what they called the learning box. So what is operant conditioning? It's a fancy term for a super simple idea. We learn from consequences. If you do something and something good happens, hey, you're probably going to do it again. If something bad happens, you're less likely to. It's the basic feedback loop that shapes almost everything we do. And this is the classic lab where it was all figured out, the Skinner box. So picture a rat inside this little chamber. The big question is, can we change its behavior? Can we actually teach it to press that lever just by controlling what happens right after? Okay, so how do we get that rat to press the lever more often? The secret is something called reinforcement. And as you're about to see, it's really all about adding and subtracting. Now, this slide is super important because it clears up something a lot of people get wrong. On the left, you see positive reinforcement. The key word here is positive. Think of it like adding something. The rat presses a lever and we add a reward, like a food pellet. Simple enough. But now look at the right, negative reinforcement. Here, negative means to subtract or take away. So maybe there's an annoying noise playing in the box. The rat presses the lever and we subtract the noise. The noise goes away. So in both cases, the outcome is good for the rat, right? And that's the key. Both methods increase the chance that the rat will press the lever again. Okay, reinforcements, that makes sense. But let's be real, a rat isn't just gonna walk into a box and immediately know it should start pressing a lever. So how in the world do you teach a brand new, complex behavior from scratch? Well, the solution is this really cool technique called shaping. You don't just wait for the perfect final action to happen. Instead, you're rewarding the little baby steps that lead up to it. You're basically guiding the behavior, one piece at a time. So how does this play out? Step 1, you might just give the rat a treat for being on the side of the box as the lever. You're just rewarding it for being in the right neighborhood. Once the rat starts hanging out near the lever, you raise the bar. Now it only gets a treat if it actually makes contact with the lever. Maybe it sniffs it or bumps into it by accident. And for the final step, the reward only comes for the main event, a full press of that lever. And just like that, through this gradual process, you've successfully taught a completely new behavior. It's pretty amazing. So, the behavior is learned. Great, but what makes it stick? What turns it into a real habit? It turns out it's not just if you get a reward, it's how often and when. This is where we get into the rules of reward, or what psychologists call schedules of reinforcement. As you can see on this slide, there are different patterns for giving out those rewards. And believe it or not, the timing of that reward completely changes how persistent, how stubborn a behavior becomes. So let's dig into what these patterns actually are. Let's break these down, because they're all around us. First, fixed ratio. The reward comes after a set number of actions. Think about getting paid for every 10 things you make. It makes you work fast, right? Then there's fixed interval. The reward comes after a set amount of time. Your weekly paycheck is a perfect example. You know it's coming, so you might, work a little harder on Thursday and Friday. Now things got really interesting with the variable ones. With variable interval, the reward comes after a random amount of time. This is exactly why we check our email or social media. You never know when that important message will show up. And finally, the most powerful one of all, variable ratio. This is the engine that drives every slot machine in Vegas. The reward comes after an unpredictable number of actions. The very next pull could be the jackpot, or you could get nothing for an hour. And that uncertainty is what makes it so hard to walk away. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Unpredictability is the secret sauce. When we can't predict when that reward is coming, our brains stay hooked. We keep performing the behavior because maybe this time will be the one. That uncertainty is just incredibly powerful. And when you combine all these pieces, the reinforcement, the shaping, the right schedule, this is what happens. Look at that graph. The frequency of the behavior just climbs and climbs. you have successfully installed a new habit. And of course, this was never really just about rats in a box. This is about us. That like you get on a social media post, that's a variable ratio reward. That little ping your phone makes with a new message, a variable interval reward. Even just the simple, reliable satisfaction of your morning coffee is a positive reinforcer. These principles are like the invisible architecture of our daily lives. So the final question isn't about the rat in the box, it's about you. Now that you can see the mechanics behind how habits are built, just take a second to think about your own routines. What are the invisible rewards, the hidden reinforcements that are shaping who you are every single day?